For Lambers for a look at today's weather forecast. And Jen and I have been talking this morning. It is so hot and so humid. I mean, it's like it never cooled off, Jen.
That is exactly right. I mean, some areas saw some of those showers and thunderstorms push through last night. But if you haven't stepped outside yet, it is muggy out there and it is feeling warm, especially if some of that air is stagnant out there. You will really notice how uncomfortable it feels. Now, taking a look at satellite and radar, there's some of those storms that we saw push through just further off towards the east. They're really pushing offshore of Panama City at this time. We even saw some of those firing off in Mobile County, just noticing some of those gusty winds associated with that. But things are looking better right now. What we're starting to see is just some very isolated showers and thunderstorms beginning to really pick up just on the north side there of Fort Walton Beach. Just some heavy downpours really just in the past 20 minutes. This turned from isolated heavy rain to this really big thunderstorm. So you're likely hearing some of that if you're located in Navarre, Windhaven Beach, Fort Walton Beach, even in Crestview, you're likely hearing some of that. It'll continue to track further towards the south. But the big thing that you're going to be noticing is that humidity. Now what we're starting to see is the upper 60s, the lower 70s for inland areas, but closer towards the coast, mid to upper 70s, mid 80s for that humidity in Gulf Shores. And so the feels like temperatures, if you step outside, it is feeling like 100 degrees at 4:30 for this morning, closer towards our coastal spots. Inland, however, we're noticing some of that better humidity, feeling more like the 70s. But here's the good news is that those dew points over the next few hours, they're going to begin dropping. So we're going to be going from those 80s and those upper 70s down into the upper 60s by this afternoon. More of a drier heat by the second half of the day. But then you'll really begin to notice that difference heading into tomorrow morning. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to be talking more about your forecast, what you can expect for the whole week ahead of us, and also still tracking the tropics and rip currents. All of that is coming up soon. Sarah.
Down in our area next couple days, right, Jen?
That is exactly right. And it's not so much going to be the air temperature that you're going to be noticing. It's going to be the humidity that's going to be feeling so much better. But a great example right there of why you just have to stay weather aware with some of those summertime thunderstorms. There we go. And even then, we're still experiencing some of those overnight. Again, this was the view that we saw right before the commercial break, really lighting up the skies as you look towards the east here down in Orange Beach. But here's a look at where those storms are beginning to impact. Just one lone lightning strike as you get closer just towards on the north side there of Navarre. But Windhaven Beach, Fort Walton Beach especially, beginning to notice some of these heavy downpours, some of that lightning, really a light show in the skies right there. Destin also hearing it, about to see some of that heavy rain begin to push in. And those lightning strikes, what we're starting to see is just about 53 strikes in the past 30 minutes. So very active with some of these storms, hearing some of that thunder and lightning in Niceville and Destin. That will clip Destin just a little bit there. But the good news, these are quick moving. Those will push offshore not too long from now. Now again, our rip currents over the next few days, it's continuing to stay beautiful down at our local beaches. They're low today, starting towards the end of the week, and then we do get closer towards Friday and into the weekend. They do bump up to moderate. Just a heads up, do be cautious. Purple flags out there, jellyfish in full abundance. Now our Scout and Legendary Marine boating forecast for today, partly cloudy skies, high tide just a little bit before 10 a.m. But what we are starting to see is seas just around 1 foot, light chop out there. And we are still tracking the tropics. We do have Hurricane Ernesto. We did just get a brand new advisory update from the National Hurricane Center. This system is just briefly strengthening a little bit. Still tracking north-northeast at 21 miles per hour. That's strong in Cat 1, but it is expected to quickly weaken once we get further on into tomorrow. It's going to start to move into some colder water and some less favorable conditions. And so it will be turning into a remnant low by tomorrow. Quick weakening with Ernesto. And then we'll still continue to talk about that system by the time we get closer towards midweek. But coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to be talking more about your forecast here locally, what we can expect for the remainder of today and the full work week ahead of us. All of that's coming up soon. Sarah.